Well, it looks like the Los Angeles Lakers are not the only team in the NBA to get an A+ when it comes to this year's free agency. The Atlanta Hawks have been making moves, and while they didn't make the playoffs this year, that certainly doesn't look like that will be the case for this next up-and-coming season. But before we get into today's video, yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy, and I'm here giving y'all another banger. And since I'm giving y'all another banger, if y'all could go ahead and like this video, that would be very much appreciated. And if you haven't already, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that'd be even more appreciated. I make basketball content, so if you like basketball, you would love this channel. So go ahead and check out my other videos and subscribe to get more basketball content on your TL. But without further ado, let's get into today's video, which is going to be talking about the Atlanta Hawks, and more specifically their biggest signing of the day, which is Bogdan Bogdanovic to the Atlanta Hawks. Adrian Wojnarowski recently reported that the Sacramento Kings will not be matching the Atlanta Hawks offer sheet when it comes to Bogdan Bogdanovic, which means that it is almost for certain that he will be an Atlanta Hawk next season. For me, this is a great signing when it comes to the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, I believe that they needed to get Trae Young some help, and obviously they have went out and they have surrounded him with some great key pieces, and now they have given him another young and up-and-coming star to help the Atlanta Hawks. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a great offensive weapon. He is a very good three-point shooter. He can create his own shot off the dribble, and he can hit shots from deep, and I'm talking about deep shots. Bogdanovic is a great shooter. And when you match that with the fact that Trae Young is also a great shooter, now you're looking at the Atlanta Hawks, who are somewhat in the same ways, kind of like the Warriors. And I say that very lightly, but I just mean that they are a shooting team now when they rely on their backcourts to be able to shoot lights out. And not only did they sign Bogdan Bogdanovic, but they also signed Danilo Gallinari and Rajon Rondo and Chris Dunn, which are all great point guards for the Atlanta Hawks, except for Danilo Gallinari, who is in fact a forward. The Atlanta Hawks have been making moves all free agency, and while they're not necessarily threats, this definitely made them better. And now I can safely say that I do believe that the Atlanta Hawks have a great chance of making the playoffs, and Trae Young has a great chance to do something in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Atlanta Hawks also already had great other key players like John Collins, who should be returning, but we never really know, and Jeff Teague and Solomon Hill. All in all, this just makes the Atlanta Hawks such a better roster than it was last year, and I'm very excited for Trae Young to have the opportunity now to compete when it comes to playing meaningful basketball in the playoffs. Also, the way the Atlanta Hawks formed their team, it doesn't really impede anything. They didn't really have to give up any young talent in order to form this new team, so they really get to keep their key pieces while also building for the future. They also got to keep their picks. I believe that all in all, this was just a great free agency when you think about how little they had to give up and how much more they were able to gain throughout this entire free agency. I definitely believe that a pairing of Trae Young and Bogdan Bogdanovic is extremely lethal, and if they can get along together, they can be a very lethal combo going forward for several years. Trae Young is very young and Bogdan Bogdanovic is only 28. So they have a very long window when it comes to winning, and they can build chemistry, and hopefully if they get along, this team can very much be one or two pieces away from forming a great team that could be moving forward in the playoff and eventually win a championship. Now, whether John Collins actually stays with the Atlanta Hawks, we will have to see, because this free agency is not finished. However, I do believe that even if he does walk or he does stay, this is a great surrounding cast for Trae Young. And if he does come back, which he should, when you really think about all the moves they did, the Atlanta Hawks have proven that they're committed to winning. And if they can get John Collins back, this makes them an even better young roster moving forward. They still have other great players like Clint Capella, and they recently drafted a new center, Okongwu, who should be great for the Atlanta Hawks and should be a great fit for them. The Atlanta Hawks have added so many different pieces together that I finally do believe that Trae Young has a solid chance at winning something now in the playoffs, and whether they win in the playoffs is still to be seen. However, I do believe that they can now make a top 8 seed in the Eastern Conference, and possibly they could knock off somebody and possibly make it to the second round. Now, I don't believe they can make the Western Conference Finals. I don't believe they're that good yet, However, I don't think it would be a stretch to say that they could knock off somebody in the first round and possibly make it to the second round. Like I said, if they add another piece in free agency or build around Trae Young, this Atlanta Hawks team can very much be the next up-and-coming team in the NBA. But without further ado, guys, that's all I really have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much if you listened this far. Please drop a like if you haven't already. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I make basketball content. So if you enjoy basketball, you would love this channel. But without further ado, guys, that's all I have for you today. And I am out. Peace.